What's up everyone and welcome back to the channel. Now today I'm going to go over some tips and tricks to help you get better battery life on your iPhone 12 Pro. Now these tips and tricks will work for pretty much every iPhone there is. There is a couple of exclusives just for the iPhone 12, but I'll make sure I point that out when we get to them. So before we get into that, I just want to show you how good my battery life has been before we get into the tips and tricks. So let me just back out here. Okay, so here you guys can see what my average battery time is. It's looks like 7 hours and 58 minutes if I can get this thing to focus. There we go. So let's go over some of the days. Now this was the first day I got it, that's why it was so small. This is the next day. As you guys can see, I'm getting well over 7 to 8 hours of screen on time every day. So I figured I'd make this video so that you guys can fix the problem because these batteries on this phone is really small. So let's get into the first tip. Okay, so the first tip we're going to get into is a pretty obvious one. Now with these new iPhones, they come with the OLED panels. Now for those who don't know what an OLED panel is, it pretty much turns off the pixels that are black so that it's not using as much energy. So the whole process is to use a darker mode, which is dark mode. So we're going to do that. Another tip when it comes to just the screen itself is try to use a dark background. Now as you see here, I'm using the one that came on the phone for the new iPhone 12 Pros. Let me go ahead and lock it so you guys can see the actual screen. So that's the one I'm using. It gives me pretty good battery life. It's not really draining anything because like I said, it's dark and it's not using power when it's not on use. Now this next tip is pretty much the biggest one that saves the most power from my usage. Now that's the background app refresh. It pretty much keeps all your apps in the background up and running, feeding new information. Me personally, I don't need that running. And I don't think you guys need it running for every single app. So what I suggest you guys do is go through the apps that you do have installed on your phone, see which ones you need and turn off the ones you don't. Now me, I turned them all off because I don't need any of them running. As you can see right here, I have it turned all the way off. And you guys can scroll through and pick out the ones you want running in the background if you so like. Fine tune it the way you see fit for the apps that you use and you constantly want updated. But me personally, I turn them all off. So this next tip is going to be for the iPhone 12s, as I said. Now, you guys know the iPhone 12 was marketed heavy with the 5G, but the thing with 5G is it's not in every area. So your phone will constantly be searching for a 5G signal, and that also uses a lot of battery. So if you guys want to kill that, what we can do is go into cellular data options. Now you can see right here where it says voice and data. Now I have mine set to 5G auto because I do have 5G in some areas where I live, but you guys can just go right here and LTE, and it'll just use the LTE signals that every company has up and running right now. It'll save a lot of battery power, and I suggest you guys use this because, like I said, 5G is really spotty right now, and when you do have it, it uses a lot of battery. So I would suggest turning on LTE, but you guys can leave it on 5G auto if you like, but this one right here will save you the most battery. Okay, now this next tip is going to involve your privacy and location. So again, another process that's constantly running in the background is the phone trying to figure out exactly where you are. Now you don't need every app on your phone doing that because some of them are just pointless and it also uses a lot of battery power in the background. So how we're going to get rid of that is we're going to go into privacy, we're going to go into location services, and we're going to go into system services right here, and pretty much turn off everything that you guys don't need running. Now, one that I suggest you turn off for everyone is significant locations. It's constantly tracking you to see where you are so it can point out new restaurants and things like that. You guys don't need that running. But as you can see, I did leave some on because these are the most important ones. I think you guys need these on. But like I said, you can fine tune this to the way you see fit. This is just my setup, how I like to run my phone. I feel like these are the ones you need. But again, you can turn off whatever you don't use. So while we're on the same screen, let's go back one. And let's go through what Apple has turned on the phone by default. It's called precise location. Now you guys really don't need these for all of these apps. Like let's say Best Buy right here. Now, usually it's turned on, but I turn it off because this uses a lot of power and certain apps definitely don't need this. I believe Instagram also has this too. Let me just double check. Well, it's not Instagram. A couple of these social media apps do have it. Those I suggest you guys turn off. But something like maps, I would leave on because that actually needs your precise location. But as you can see, a lot of these apps on my phone personally do not need that. So I would go through every app that you have on your phone and see if it has precise location, and turn that off because it'll save a lot of battery power. Okay, so the next tip is going to try to reduce the motion on the screen. Now that's the animations. They're kind of long and drawn out on iPhones, but it also uses battery power. So we can go ahead and turn those off. So let's go ahead and go into accessibility. That's where you can find it. You see right here where it says motion, and it has reduced motion. Now I don't have this turned off because it doesn't really affect my phone, but I do notice that it does use power. Like I said, I've been getting good battery power, but if you guys are really having problems, I would go ahead and just hit that and turn it off. This one too. That way your phone would move just like that. No animations, nothing drawn out, just like that. Again, that was another tip you guys can use. Me personally, I don't use it on my phone, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn it back off. Now these last few tips and tricks are gonna be pretty obvious. It's just turning on and turning off things when you're not using them, such as Bluetooth. If you're not using Bluetooth, go ahead and turn it off so that it stops searching for devices around you. Also, whenever you can get on Wi-Fi, that uses a significantly lower battery than on LTE or your phone service, whatever you guys have at the time. So I would use Wi-Fi whenever available. Also, turn off Wi-Fi when you're not using it because, again, it's searching for signals. So I would definitely turn that off. The next one is AirDrop. Now, I know a lot of you guys like to have AirDrop on because it's so convenient. What you guys can do is turn it off when you guys are not planning on transferring files. And if you guys do want to keep it on, I would suggest you guys just have it for contacts only. That's just to avoid getting sent random pictures and information from the people around you. Because a lot of people have AirDrop, so to avoid being sent some stuff that you don't want, I would suggest you just keep it for contacts. So of course, if you guys are outside and you guys are running out of battery, you can't make it to a charger, just throw on low power mode. It's easy. It's right here in the control center, right there. That's the best way to save battery when you're outside and you can't make it to a charger. Now, I rarely ever use it because, like I said, I've been getting great battery life on this phone. But like I said, things happen, and if you get caught outside without a charger, just throw it on low power mode. Okay, so now this last tip that I'm going to give you guys has to do with the mail app on the phone. Now, most people don't use the actual mail app on iPhones. Me personally, I don't like it at all. So I just use Gmail. And also because the mail app uses a lot of battery in the background, it's constantly searching for emails to push to your phone. So we can go ahead and just turn off that. So let me guys show you guys how to do that. Let's go down to mail. We're going to go down to accounts. And you see right here where it says fetch new data. We're going to make sure that that's turned off. Now, as you guys can see, I already had it turned off. So make sure push is turned off and have this set to manually. That way you can just check for mail every time you open the app instead of the app constantly searching in the background. Now I find that this saves a lot of battery. This is right next to the background app refresh for my usage. So I would suggest you guys go through this and turn it to manually and turn off push. Okay. So that's going to wrap it up for this battery saving tips and tricks video for the iPhone 12 and 12 Pro. Again, these tips and tricks will work for any iPhone, just the 5G is not on every other iPhone. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in and watching the video. I hope you guys learned something new that can help you get better battery life out of your phone. As I said, this battery is very small on this phone, and I've been getting battery life like it was my 11 Pro Max. So thank you guys again. I appreciate all the support that's been on the channel lately. You guys are doing really good in the comment section. I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. So stay tuned to the channel. I have a lot more coverage on this phone coming up. I do have a few accessories on the way for the phone, such as the MagSafe wallet, the MagSafe charger, and the MagSafe charging case. Those will be here within this week. So stay tuned for some unboxing for those accessories. I'm still working on a review for the phone. Stay tuned for that. I just have a few more tests I need to run. But so far, it's been really good with this phone. I really don't have many complaints about it. But like I said, stay tuned to the channel for that. And I appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.